The Buffalo Bills will have a new look on the defensive side of the football after losing several key veteran contributors, and this has many fans concerned about the unit. However, there has been an infusion of youth that makes this defense very promising. Buffalo's defense has consistently been one of the best units in the league since Sean McDermott took over as head coach back in 2017, and the Bills have had a top 5 unit in terms of points allowed defensively in each of the past 3 seasons. There's a plethora of reasons to be optimistic about this new look defense with a new defensive coordinator in Bobby Babich, who's set to take over the reins in 2024 and beyond. Welcome back to the Bills Bunker. I'm Jake Varco, and today I want to talk to you about this new look Buffalo Bills defense that is certainly being overlooked, and I feel like it's being disrespected and underrated by many people. I think this unit has the ability to shock the world in 2024, and in this video I'm going to break down exactly why. But before we do that, I'd like to give a special shout out, and I'd like to encourage you to click subscribe. Stay tuned for more content coming your way. The season is quickly approaching. Training camp begins today, and I'm going to be attending multiple games throughout the season, so stay tuned for all that great content, live reactions, interviews with fans, so much more. Stay tuned. Shout out to the very first Mafia member on the channel, Judith Jordan. You can also become a channel member by clicking the join button below or the link in the description and paying a small monthly fee that helps me make improvements to the channel. Perks included in the membership are a loyalty badge, member shoutouts in my videos, and exclusive Mafia member polls, as well as top priority for my replies to your comments. Now let's get back to the discussion about the defense in this video. For starters, the defensive line lost Leonard Floyd, who was their leading sack getter from last year, this offseason, and they'll definitely need edge rushers to step up and perform. Von Miller should be motivated as he's coming off his career worst 2023 season when he didn't record a single sack. He restructured his contract over the course of the offseason to implement a number of performance-based incentives. If he wants to reach those incentives, he's going to have to perform. Gregory Rousseau received a 5th-year option from the team, but if he wants to land a long-term contract extension with a big payday, then he'll need to produce at a higher level. The Bills brought back A.J. Epinesa, who has been somewhat productive over the past few seasons, and perhaps he has another level to his game that is yet to be unlocked. This is a lot of reason for motivation up front from these edge rushers, and it should provide enough incentive for them to perform and give it all they've got. The interior of the defensive line is being patrolled by returning faces in Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones, as well as rookie Dwayne Carter, who is a day 2 draft pick out of Duke that should be able to contribute immediately. Other new faces on the defensive line include undersized rookie edge rusher Javon Solomon, who led the entire FBS with 16 sacks in 2023, and then there are some other experienced players who are sure to compete for roster spots in Austin Johnson, Eli Ankou, Dwayne Smoot, Deshaun Williams, and Casey Toohill. This defensive line unit is my biggest concern about the defense as a whole because there's not too many standout players and there's a lot of question marks about production, but this is a group that should be motivated, and this is a group that there's definitely a lot of depth, and with all these players competing for roster spots and roles on the team, there's bound to be someone that's going to break out. Moving back to the second level of the defense, there should be nothing but confidence from Bills Mafia because this might be the best linebacking core in the entire league, as they're set to get both Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard back from injury to begin the season. We didn't see very much of these two stars together last year as they both suffered season-ending injuries in a relatively short period of time, and if that were to happen again, the Bills won't have to rely on A.J. Klein anymore. And that's because they added depth this offseason by bringing in reliable veterans such as Nicholas Morrow and Deion Jones, also drafting Adefuwan Ulofoshio out of Washington. This linebacking core is something that Bills fans have to be excited about. Matt Milano, Terrell Bernard, both of them set to return from injury to kick off the season, and these are 2 stars in the National Football League at the position, 2 of the top linebackers in the league. And if one of them were to go down with injury, or even both of them, you now have players who can fill in throughout their absence with guys like Deion Jones, Adefewanu Lafosio, and Morrow as well. And finally, when you take a look at this secondary, many are going to highlight the losses of Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Trey White, and Dane Jackson, and they'll say that this unit is depleted. But that couldn't really be further from the truth. For sure, it's going to be a different look for the Bills in that secondary, but they still have a really solid, impressive collection of players back there. The secondary is always one of the strengths on a Sean McDermott-led football team. The cornerback position looks really solid as they'll be led by ball-hawking lockdown veteran Rasul Douglas and Taron Johnson, who is one of the top nickel corners in the whole league. And on top of that, the cornerback unit has the young Christian Benford, who is one of the top-ranked players at his position last year, according to Pro Football Focus. Former first-round draft choice Kaiir Elam has shown some promise, but he really hasn't played very much, and you'd have to think that he's motivated in what is likely a make-or-break season for his career. He'll likely be competing with guys such as Cam Lewis and rookie Daquan Hardy for reps as we approach the new football season. And then at the safety position, we all know that Buffalo has had the luxury of relying on the dynamic duo of Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer for the last 7 seasons. But, unfortunately, all good things come to an end, and this has been proved true in Buffalo as the duo has finally disbanded. Now, the safety position relies on a handful of players, including Taylor Rapp, who is entering his second year in Buffalo after landing an extension this offseason. Rapp is joined by 2-time Super Bowl champion Mike Edwards, second-round rookie draft pick Cole Bishop out of Utah, and Damar Hamlin, with 4 players on this squad ready to compete for roles at the safety position. Someone is bound to emerge as a breakout candidate, and it's only going to make these guys better collectively as a unit. Also, Micah Hyde has yet to confirm his retirement from the National Football League, so don't yet rule out a return from the veteran at some point during the season. A lot of people are really concerned about the secondary after the losses of Trey White, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Dane Jackson even, but really, I think that this remains one of the strengths of this defense. It's always a strength of Sean McDermott's defense. Maybe they're lacking some depth in the secondary, but they're sure to get some production from those top guys, Rasul Douglas, Taron Johnson, and Christian Benford. And then there's some potential breakout candidates there as well. Really, my biggest concern about the defense is up front on the defensive line. We need to see someone step up. Greg Rousseau needs to have a big year. Von Miller, really, if you can get any sort of production from him, it would be better than what we saw last year as well. So the defensive line's the biggest concern for me. The linebacking core, it's exciting to think about Matt Milano and Terrell Bernard being back together. New defensive coordinator, Bobby Babich. It's really exciting to see what's going to happen with this defense. And I think this defensive unit is ready to shock the world here in 2024. Cole Bishop, the second-round draft pick out of Utah, he should be a significant contributor for this unit as well. So there's a lot to like. An infusion of youth. It's going to be a new look, but it's going to be an exciting look. And we're ready to see something new in Buffalo. This is the start of a new era on the defensive side of the football. Still some familiar faces, but a lot of new players that have been added into the mix. And I really like what I see from what Brandon Beane did this offseason. But I'm curious to know in the comments section down below, how are you feeling about this Bills defense? Do you think they're ready to shock the world in 2024? Because I certainly do. I see this group as a potentially elite unit. And until I'm proven wrong, I'm going to stand by that thought. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section down below. Reminder, if you haven't yet, click subscribe. Stay tuned for more content coming your way right here on the Bills Bunker. Click like if you like this video. I'm Jake Varco. This is the Bills Bunker. Go Bills.